Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I've got a great one for you guys. We are doing two album designs from 3Quarter Designs. This one's called the Umbrella Weather Mini Album Base Kit, and this one is Morning Dew Mini Album Base Kit. This is the Morning Dew album, you guys. And I just added a few things to make this beautiful album. And we'll go through the rest of this in a minute, but I'm going to show you both styles of album and how to put them together and give you some page ideas. So come back and play with us. So let's jump in and take a look at what's included in this kit. They call this a base kit because it's got everything to embellish the actual base of the album. Here we go. So here are the chipboard pages, all right? And everything is sort of in a millimeter measurement, so I'm going to stop occasionally and give you these in inches. So this is just under 7.5 inches by 5 inches for the pages, and there are 7 of them here. And then we've also got, for the front cover, this is really beautiful. It's got 2 sheets that are already die cut. And what you do is go ahead and you just glue this one, and it lines up perfectly with this one. Then I did a little inking on this piece right here. I used a little, just the surface of this violet ink pad, and it just went over the surface of this beautiful little lattice window. And then this just gets glued right there. Lines up with the scallops and everything. You could color the leaves green if you'd like. When you turn it over, you see this beautiful lattice, and so I went ahead and inked this back part of it as well so that it matched. And then this part just gets glued right there. So it's all taken care of. That's your cover, and then you get to embellish it with some flowers and things. So let's continue on, and I'm going to show you what else is in the kit. And then we'll do a flip through the one I made. These are cutouts. There's 2 sheets of those. This is just a strip of wood grain paper. I used it to make some pockets. And then there's this great chart. It's also in millimeters, but it shows you where you can take this page right here and where you can cut it to really maximize all the embellishments that are on the papers. So this is a really handy little guide that they give you about how they're covering this, because on their cover they give you this idea for the cover of the album, and then on the back page they give you all of these page ideas and utilizing this right here and how to cut them. And I sometimes use this guide, but mostly I just kind of winged it just to give you other ideas. I didn't want to copy this exactly. That I don't feel like there's value in that for you. All right, so I want to give you additional ideas. So beautiful, beautiful papers. And then they give you these like little additional pieces like this that are like half cut. Gorgeous. The colors, the purples, the greens, the creams, the architectural elements, really, really gorgeous. And these are just meant to be cut apart for your album, and they work really, really well for that. All right, so let's take this album. All right, so the first thing I should mention is that these pages are quite thick. All right, and using a regular hole punch just didn't work for me. So I ended up using the Crop-A-Dial. This is the eyelet setter Crop-A-Dial, but of course it's got these little mega hole punches in it, and the 3/16 inch punch, and I think the 1/8 inch. And I ended up using the 3/16 inch punch for this. And then I used some little 1-inch rings, okay, to put in here. These are just 1-inch binder rings. If you want to add additional pages to yours, just go up a size. These are 1 1/4, 1.5 inch. You can buy these just like at any office supply store or Amazon. So I went ahead and I punched my pages. I'm going to give you a tip on the second album on how to align your little holes. And then I used some purple ribbon, and I just cut these into like 4 and 5 inch lengths, and I just tied them right on here. So the punching of the pages, the placing of the rings and the ribbon is the very last step that I did. Okay, so that's the very last step after you get all of the pages done, but that's an obvious thing about binding, so I wanted to get that out of the way. So we've done the cover, and then I used the cutouts right here to add with a beautiful butterfly, and then I also added some beautiful little florets from 49 and Market. This is the thistle color. And I also added some crystals, and these are grape. So if you can see, here are the cute little flowers from 49 and Market, and I added some crystals here as well, so it's quite sparkly. Open up my page. Oops, there we go. So here is the back of that cover. It still looks really, really pretty, especially when you go ahead and you ink that lattice right there. And then this is a cutout right here. I added a little bit of ribbon there for interest. There's some cutouts here. This is a little bit of, oops, here we go. These are straight line, colorful dazzle stickers. And I ended up using the purple sheet here. So this one right here. And it's got two sizes of just straight line linear dazzle stickers, and this I just added to the corners and to pages to add a little bit more sparkle. There's the green one I added as well at the bottom. Now in this you also get some, you can also use these pages, this paper, and you can add more pages in by just adding a little bit of cardstock. So what I've got here is, this is a 12-inch length, and it is 4 3/4 inch wide, and then I folded it at 4.5 inches, just like this. Punched my holes, covered it with paper first of all, and then punched my holes and just added these pages in. And that way I can get even more in my little album. Took some of the scrap paper that I had and made little tags. There's that wood grain paper that I was showing you to make a little pocket. Just add your photos right here, you guys. So you've got lots of places to journal, and these fit 4x6 photos beautifully. Another great place to add a photo. This one, I just folded some paper in half and I made a little tag shape, perfect for some journaling. Added some more of those dazzle stickers here and here. Here's some more. Added some little cutouts. And where I didn't have full sheets of paper left, I just tore some. So like on this piece right here, I had this much of this paper. And so then I just tore some here and glued that on top. And just extended this page with some scrap paper. Added some little wood right here. Here's another little pocket. Added some dazzle, straight line dazzles here and here. Little group of cutout flowers. This cute little pendant, just added a dazzle right here as if it was hanging. There's another corner place for a dazzle. Added in another page. Here we've got a pocket right here going on the side. Okay, and more page ideas. And then we get all the way to the very last page, and then this is the back cover. And then once again, I ended up piecing this out of 2 pieces of paper. All right, so that is how the Morning Dew turned out. Let's take a look at the umbrella weather kit. So this one, once again, has some ideas for how to do your front cover. And here's the one I started with. This one I did not add ribbons to. You could leave it blank. I'm going to add a few at the very end, and then you can see what it finally looks like in the photo that we have on our website. So here we go. Let's take a peek. All right, so here we've got one of those little guides for cutting the paper. If you want to use this, it's not necessary, but it does give you a great idea about how to cut it, and it matches up with their page ideas. All right, we've also got some cutouts, some extra pieces of paper like this, more cutouts, and this one has lots of words and sentiments and quotes and things, which is really nice. The beautiful, beautiful papers are just gorgeous. And lots of use of embellishments on the edges, which is so nice to add to your page edges as well. Gorgeous. I love the combination of the big dots and then the script, and then on the sides you've got those big floral embellishments. Beautiful. All right, so this one obviously is a camera theme. So we've got the pages. All right, so this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one of these is going to act as your cover, and the other are pages. So the cover goes like this. You would cover it with paper, and I'm going to give you a little tip on how to do that in a minute. You're going to cover that with paper. I went ahead and inked some edges, and then you're going to cover this piece with paper, and you're going to glue it to the front cover. And then you've got this one. You don't need to do anything to this largest circle. You can just glue it right here, because on this one we're going to cover with one of the cutouts that we've got. Let me see if I can jump back to those cutouts. It's kind of specific. Here we go. This one right here, I just glued the circle as they did in their cover inspiration, glued it to the back of this, and then used some scissors to trim. That's going to get glued right here. And then this one, I inked the surface black, and it goes right over the top. Like that. Okay, so that's where we are right here. So we had our background covered, we had that rectangle covered, and then we've done this part with a lens. Then I added some extra things. So these are Royal Posies. They're little paper flowers. They come in 3 different sizes, and they do have some leaves. This is midnight color, so it's a really nice navy blue. Then I also added some florets, and these are the cream color, and there's 2 sizes of flowers here. And as you can see, I used a cutout flower here, and then I just add a little cascade right here of both the navy and the cream. Added some here. Here's a little cutout here, the best of days, little flower kind of cascading down here. And then I used ocean blue crystals and just added some of those to the cover as well. Just like that for sparkle. All right, so we're going to go to this cover. Here we are utilizing a lot of these quotes and these little greetings here. Here's another cutout right here. See, I cut it from this one. And here I took this quote and I glued it on 3 sides, leaving the right side open, and I made a little tag to put in there. Once again, used the straight line dazzle stickers to embellish. And here I left this open for a photo and left this part unglued. So if you gave this to someone as a gift blank, they can add their own photos and just slip that right in, and this mat leaves about a 1/8 inch mat for their photo. Okay, we've got another little page. Lots of room here for adding your own journaling. Here's a little collection and a place to journal as well. Did a couple more crystals right there. Another great spot for some photos. This would be great for a 4x4 photo, and then here I just left a little spot so you can just stick that photo right there. And we've got another place for a tag. And then we're right here, we have another place for a tag. So I wanted to show you my technique for gluing these. So we're going to start off, this is our last page. We need to start off like this. Got our glue. I like to use Cosmic Shimmer Specialist acrylic glue. I'm going to make sure that everything's in working order here. And what I would do is just take this glue, and you do not need to use a lot of glue. You do not need to cover this entire thing. I really believe in making sure all the points that get a lot of attention and that you're going to be turning your pages. So like the right hand corner and the right hand side are really going to get handled a lot. So I make sure and that's really going to get well covered. The space in the center, you don't need a lot of glue there. Not if your edges are glued down well. Save your glue. All right, so then we're going to take this and we're just going to line that up, this side and this side. We're going to turn that over and make sure everything is aligned. I'm going to burnish that. All right, and now we're going to use our big paper shears to cut away. And make sure you turn it over when you're trimming so that you're trimming against the chipboard. You can see what you're doing. 2 sizes of scissors are really nice here. I'm going to use the small scissors for those little areas like this. You can use your big scissors for areas like this. But when you're getting into this area right here, it's nice to just switch. I went ahead and I did all of my pages all at once. And then I used my scraps when I was done for making tags and mats for my photos and things like that. That just seemed to sort of cut down on the decision-making process if you're just going on your own to cover it and not using their covering guide. All right, so we're almost done. All right, so then what I did was I took our great big sanding, and then you would cover the other side as well. All right, so once I had both pages, both sides of the chipboard page covered, I took my sanding block and I went over the areas around the top of the camera, especially this area right here, because I want a really nice fit, and a little bit of distressing is kind of cool. All right, and then you can take a little ink. I chose black, and my little applicator tool, and you can just do this quickly around their page, that. And that's how it's sort of prepped. All right, and then for doing your hole punching, I'm gonna open these up. I'm gonna just grab this one. And what I did was I took my first page, which would be the cover, and I set it over this page, and then I just took a pencil or a pen and I used it to mark. So you would do this for every page, and that way you can see exactly where you're going to punch. And it's going to be the same every time. That way you're not accidentally off a little bit and then you have trouble threading your binding in. Get this little piece out of here. Right? And we're going to do this side as well. And then this one can go back on here because I just used it for my little guide. And then we would put this one on. Oops. Get on camera, Lene. And so then you would just thread all of these onto these little binding clips. There we go. All right. Then you can take a little bit of ribbon, and I like to choose 3 or 4 different kinds of ribbon, like different patterns. So I've got one that's polka dot, one that's a sheer swirl, and one that has some little stitches. And then I would just take these and, as you said, tie 5 or 6 on to each one of these little binding clips. And then once I am done tying them on and decorating that, then I go back and I trim those tails down. And there is a case to be made that I'm wasting an inch or so of ribbon each time, but I like the idea of having more ribbon than I need than too little, because if you have too little, these will come undone. And I'm just doing an overhand knot to tie these on. Okay, and you just want, if it's a pattern ribbon, you want that pattern to show there. And then you're going to trim these about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long at an angle. And the angle keeps them from unraveling. And I'm going to finish this so that in the photo you guys can see how it's done. And I think just adding that little bit of ribbon really just adds a little bit of whimsy to your albums. You guys, we have such a great money saver on both of these. We also have everything listed down below the video in case you want to add the ribbon or the crystals or the flowers in, or you want to have one album or both albums. These are not going to last long. I can see that they're going to fly out of here. So definitely get them in your cart and don't wait. Don't think about it, because I don't think they'll be here tomorrow. So the money saver is right there on the right hand side of your screen. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we haven't forgot about you. Look below the video in the description box and you will see a link to this Paper Wishes webisode page, and subscribe. We do 4 to 5 videos of these a week, and we wouldn't want you to miss a thing. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.